Hey everyone, so we're continuing our series on heart health. And I thought in this segment we should just focus on, or probably just tell you about how we at the Brain and Body Foundation address heart conditions, heart attacks, strokes, prevention, hypertension, things like that. Because I think we need to look at things. Our focus is to see how we can help people in an environment where we don't have access to all the top equipment, top specialists, top expertise that maybe the Western world, people in the Western world have access to. I don't know if you know this, but there are fewer than 100 cardiologists in this country, and we're knocking on 200 million people in a country that is, people are more susceptible to heart disease, heart attacks and strokes than most other countries. So that's a big problem. 45% of all doctors are in Lagos, one state, in Lagos State alone. So we don't have access to expertise. So at the Brain and Body Foundation, we're constantly thinking about what we can do for the individual that they can go home and implement and at least start taking steps towards rebuilding or regaining their health. And so I'm just going to throw out a few pointers and explain them to you in as few words as possible. Okay, here's a quote I really like. The World Health Organization says that there are only two obstacles to longevity and vibrant health. One, ignorance. Two, complacency. So those two things, I think we have that in abundance in this country. So let's try and deal with the ignorance, all right? And for the complacency, let's hope that the information will jar you or spur you to do some better things about your health. So the key thing when it comes to heart health are your arteries, the integrity and the health of your arteries especially, because that's through which blood flows and blood carries oxygen and nutrients. So it's essential that those pipes, just think of them as pipes, are clean and smooth so that there's no obstruction, there's no roughness in the inside of the pipes. Once that begins to happen, and we talk about inflammation a lot, many times arteries get inflamed over time. So our goal is to ensure that there's minimal inflammation and that there's minimal blockage to the blood flow. As long as blood is flowing well, as long as the arteries are healthy and the walls are strong, you're in good shape. And that's where we focus on. And so what we like to do is we like to use nutrients, because science has now discovered specific nutrients that build up and repair damage to the lining of the blood vessels. Now, these nutrients have to be in specific amounts, specific concentrations, specific doses. So it's not just enough to say, take more vitamin C, for instance. You need to have a certain amount of vitamin C on a daily basis. I'm not talking about vitamin C as one of the nutrients, although vitamin C is important, but the top 5 nutrients, 5 or 6 nutrients, I'm going to talk about them in a minute. So here are the key nutrients for the endothelium. When I say endothelium, I'm talking about the lining of the blood vessel. The key nutrients that will help to strengthen and make the endothelium healthy. One is vitamin D3. I didn't say vitamin D2, I said vitamin D3. Now, you think you get that from the sun, but in another segment, you probably see why that's not necessarily so. As black people, we don't get enough vitamin D3 from the sun, and I'll explain that some other time. 2, you need a protein or an amino acid called L-arginine. It's from L-arginine that your body converts it into a certain factor, a certain chemical called nitric oxide. It's a gas. And what that does is that it cleans up the blood vessels, and it also helps to dilate, relax the blood vessels so blood can flow through. If the blood vessels are too tight, blood will not flow through like they should. Number 3 is another amino acid called L-citrulline. And you can get more information about this later. But L-arginine and L-citrulline both help the body to produce more of nitric oxide, which is, again, like I said, it's probably the most important chemical and nutrient for your blood. And they find out that people who have heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, without exception, have very low levels of nitric oxide and low levels of vitamin D, by the way. The third one, you want to take vitamin K2, more amounts of vitamin K2, and you also want to take omega-3 fatty acids. The 5th, the 6th, and the 7th are Magnesium, again, black people are very deficient in magnesium compared to white people. I mean, this is becoming fun, isn't it? We seem to have the shorter end of the stick in several respects. But it's good for us to know. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't want to be a harbinger of bad news, but still, you got to know these things. You got to be able to supplement. So let's go over them again. You need vitamin D3. You need arginine, you need L-citrulline, you need vitamin K2, you need antioxidants, you need omega-3 fatty acids, which are also good for the brain, and you need magnesium in certain doses and certain amounts. So what we do at the foundation is that we have a way to combine, put all these together in our formulation, and we found that this has helped many patients, even those on multiple medications, to recover their heart health and get their numbers and levels back to normal, in addition to the medications that they're taking. We don't want to do.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, good. Thank God you're right in costume. So we'll do...
Okay. I'll round it up again.
Yes, round
nutrients.
Up that one again.
Okay.
So in 3, 2, continuation, let's do this.
All right, so the top 6 or 7 nutrients that you need to have a healthy cardiovascular system are 1, vitamin D3, 2, L-arginine, 3, L-citrulline. These are both amino acids that produce nitric oxide. 4, you need vitamin K2 because that takes calcium away from the blood vessels and puts it in the bones where it should be, or where the calcium should be. Number 5, you need antioxidants. Number 6, you need omega-3 fatty acids. And number 7, you need magnesium because magnesium is also another factor that helps to relax the blood vessels. At our center with the Brain and Body Foundation, there's a formulation that has been approved that has all these things in the right doses, in the right concentrations, and in the right mix. So this can be given in addition, if you're on medication. You're not going to stop your medication, don't get me wrong. You need to take your medication. But what we found out is that people who are on 4 or 5 different medications who have not been able to bring their blood pressure down and the other numbers down seem to have it much easier when they take the nutrient, because these nutrients are nourishing their blood vessels, they are nourishing their heart specifically. And that makes all the difference when your blood vessels are healthy and relaxed. It makes all the difference, and then we see those numbers begin to go down. So it's really important that you take your medication, but also you take the nutrients that nourish the blood vessels, because the two are not one and the same. They are 2 different things. So I encourage you to look at these things and to do your own studies, and let's stay in touch. Thanks.